Hiruzen might have said all that, but when push comes to shove, he'll protect Konoha. He's that kind of man, and when push does come to shove, he'll have to take firm measures as the Hokage.
Danzo told Itachi quietly as they stood in the courtyard of the Foundation mansion. Danzo's soul hadn't stopped shaking since hearing Itachi's report. The coup, in 10 days, the time had come at last. He would finally be able to remove the biggest obstacle threatening the security of the village. Danzo trembled with glee at being able to personally put an end to the history of enmity that went back to the founding of Konoha. Itachi listened silently. He was a clever boy. In the interrogation room, he had seen it in Hiruzen's attitude, so replete with self-righteousness and hypocrisy. He had already grasped Danzo's true intentions, or rather, the idea had sprouted in Itachi's own heart when his brethren accused him of the death of his good friend Shisui. That idea was now simply overlaid on the image Danzo had spent long years drawing. Yes, the two of them standing in that spot at the moment were one mind. Whether it turns out into a war or not, Danzo began calmly, looking at the silent Itachi. At the moment the coup occurs, the fate of the Uchihas will be annihilation. The plan the Uchihas had put together was simply too crude. Swept away in a flood of emotion, they overestimated their own power. To him, their plan was like a sad little poem written by a sentimentalist despairing of this world and ending his own life. He did find it a little sad that the genius Itachi had been born into such a sorry clan, but no one could escape fate. At the moment he was born an Uchiha, Itachi's path was set. The path of destruction. Danzo readied himself to scatter the bait.
Including your little brother, who knows nothing of all this. But if it's before the coup, there is a way to save your brother at least.
Itachi might have done it even without the bait. That was how strong the fate of the boy in front of him appeared. He had tried so very seriously to realize his outrageous dream of eliminating war from this world. That sentimentalism was the Uchiha clan. Given that he held this anti-war conviction so firmly, perhaps Itachi would have accepted Danzo's proposal even without the bait of his younger brother's life. But Danzo was the sort of man who took every precaution, and Itachi's brother's life, in compensation for the extermination of the Uchiha, was too good of a deal. What on earth did Itachi think of a cowardly act like threatening his younger brother? His face was frozen, impossible to read. The boy did not so much as twitch. This was a time to strike. If he had the leeway to inquire into Itachi's mental state. Then he must strike without stopping.
Once it actually happens, your brother will learn about everything. If he sees his clan obliterated by the ninjas of Konoha, he will come to nurture a desire for vengeance on the village.
First, focus Itachi's thoughts on Sasuke. Then turn Itachi's eyes away from his brethren's obliteration and give him a just cause in the name of saving his little brother's life.
Once that happens, there'll be nothing left but to have your brother die.
Is that a threat? Itachi was indeed not to be dealt with by ordinary means.
No, I want you to choose.
Push it.
Will you side with the Uchihas, carry out the coup, and be destroyed with your clan? Or will you side with us in Konoha and obliterate the Uchihas before the coup, leaving only your brother alive?
From Itachi's actions up to that point, it was unthinkable that he would side with the clan. So then, why was he in such a conflict over it? Was even a man of Itachi's caliber afraid of the infamy that would come with killing his clan?
Whatever we have to do, we must get this situation under control before things descend into chaos for the sake of the village. This mission can only be given to a double agent for both Uchiha and Konoha. There is only you, Itachi.
Itachi himself would have known that. If someone from outside the clan were to put to the task of annihilating the Uchihas, the other clans in the village would be dissatisfied with the village officials. If people started to suspect that whole clans would be purged if they were determined to be a liability to the village, the situation would become untenable. Which was exactly why the annihilation of the Uchihas needed to be done by someone in that clan. A mentally troubled boy killing his family and his clan, that was the way to get the situation neatly under control.
Itachi, this is likely a painful mission for you. However, in exchange, you will be able to make sure your brother survives.
Since the Hokage residence, Itachi had said almost nothing. Even at that moment, he was staring at Danzo in silence. Anguish. Even as he had the thought that this was not a fitting word for this boy, Danzo felt in Itachi's silence a surge of emotion that could even have been sorrow.
I feel the same as you about the village.
Danzo took a small breath before uttering his final words.
Will you accept this mission?
As if no longer able to endure the feelings that threatened to crush him, Itachi closed his eyes and stuck his chin out slightly. He turned his back and started to walk. Danzo stared without moving a single muscle until the departing Itachi disappeared from sight, as if to pour his own passions into him.